Are all set.
All right. Well, I want to welcome you all to our call tonight. We are going to talk about Shakeology 101. Hopefully, I can give you some ideas and a little bit of some concepts that you might not have thought of before, help you and guide you to the right places to learn more about Shakeology so that you can be more confident when you share. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've found that the best way to share Shakeology is really to start with why instead of what or how. And for me, it's sharing my own personal story. Some of you might have already heard my story before, but the way that I discovered Shakeology was kind of an ideal way to get a testimony of what Shakeology can do for you. So when I started out back in 2012, in January, I was basically hopelessly unhealthy. And I had made a commitment that I was going to do something about it. I was up late at night and I found a P90X commercial, became enthralled with it, watched it 3 times, and made a commitment that I was going to do this thing. And so I went ahead and bought it, got started. I did a full 3 months of P90X, and I lost a whopping 5 pounds in 3 months of intense 1-hour workouts. So I wasn't discouraged at the end of that 3 months, though. My goal wasn't necessarily weight loss, but my goal was to get healthy. And I did definitely have a mental transformation in the process. But here's the cool thing that happened. At the end of the 3 months, Beachbody was running some type of a promotion at that time where they were sending people a 1-week sample of Shakeology 3 months into their program. And I don't know if it was totally planned or coincidence or whatever, but I just finished 3 months, got the sample. I had no idea what it was. As far as I know, it was another protein powder. But I was already drinking the recovery drink and I liked it. So I tried it, liked the taste of it okay, ordered it, and started over on P90X. Second round, I lost 25 pounds. And that was in addition to the 5 pounds I lost in the first round. But it was interesting that halfway through the second round, amazing things started happening for me. Number one, I used to get stomach aches every day for almost all my life. In the morning, I wake up and I have a stomach ache. No more stomach aches. Next thing I noticed was I had more energy in the afternoon. And I was able to bring a more intense workout. And I wasn't hungry. I was losing weight and not suffering. And I kept saying, wow, this is so easy, because every week another couple pounds, a couple pounds, a couple pounds. And I'm like, why am I saying this is easy? Because I was doing these hard workouts. But the fact of the matter is I was doing those hard workouts and not getting the results. And so at the end of that second 3-month period, I went to my doctor, and I had been in a dangerously high level of cholesterol before I started. And I brought my cholesterol level down over 100 points down into a normal range. I was pre-diabetic. I brought my sugar levels down into a normal range. And so I had this huge testimony of Shakeology and basically became a coach immediately because I knew this stuff worked and saves lives, changes lives, and it certainly changed mine. And here's the thing about it, is that when you start getting results, you want to do more. And so then I was able to add cleaning up my other meals, add drinking water the right way, add stretching, and add flexibility, and add a whole bunch of things into my whole fitness journey that I wouldn't have done had I not started out getting results. So, I mean, going from this state of hopelessness to somebody who's back and feeling amazing and super fit, I mean, it was game changing for me. So I share that story with just about everybody that I talk to about Shakeology, and I don't share the whole thing. I'll just share little pieces of it. If I am talking to somebody that has cholesterol issues, I'll share the pieces about cholesterol. If somebody says they're diabetic and can this stuff help with diabetics, I'll share what happened to me with that. If somebody says they get tired in the afternoons, I'll talk about the energy levels. And so I will share the little pieces. But it really all starts with my why and it comes from my heart. And so it's interesting that, Shakeology is not just a weight loss product. Clearly, it changed a whole lot of other things. And it's really something that's has huge long-term benefits. And so if we can learn how to share that, then as business builders, the residual income that comes from your customers who are long-term Shakeology users, that's like way better for your customer and way better for you. And ultimately, that's what we're really trying to do anyway. We are in the business of helping people to get healthy. And in the process, we are able to make a business out of it and make money from it. But it starts with helping people. So starting with why is really important instead of what. But that said, knowing what's in it is going to be really helpful as well. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. At Coach Summit 2 years ago, we heard from Shay Stanford, who's one of the elite coaches in the business. She was a pharmacist before she became a coach. And so she has a huge knowledge of health. And she talks about the back end of the health crisis versus the front end of the health crisis. What she means is she used to sell medicines to the doctors that were prescribing them to patients, and most of the medicines that are available are masking symptoms as opposed to solving problems. If somebody has a cholesterol issue, the issue normally comes from bad nutrition, and yet they're given a pill that's supposed to bring their cholesterol back to a normal level, but hasn't changed the person to learn how to eat right in any way. So that's sort of the back end of the health crisis. And so she talked about how she would sit there in waiting rooms waiting to talk to the doctors and see all the patients in the waiting room waiting to see the doctor. And he saw all the various diseases that they suffered from and how many of them could have been solved 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years earlier had they known how to get proper nutrition. Because that's the root of so many of the things that we struggle with in our society, thanks to the way that our society eats, processing all of our foods rather than whole foods. So, and that's a concept that is kind of hard for people to understand what a whole food is compared to what a processed food is. Anytime you take a whole grain or a whole food, even like an orange, that the whole orange, that's a whole food, or the whole grain, that's a whole food. But as soon as you take the orange and you squeeze it and squeeze the juice out of it, it's now processed. And typically to get a glass of orange juice, you're squeezing 6, 8, 10 oranges to get enough juice for an orange juice. And I'm not saying that orange juice is bad. It's just that now it's a processed food. And most of the nutritional value of the orange is in the pulp, in the rind, right in the edges. And when you squeeze it, you're losing a lot of the nutrients. And what are you getting? You're getting a lot of extra sugar. And so increasing the risk of getting diabetes by drinking orange juice, which most people think is really healthy, which, you know, in small amounts, it's fine and it is healthy. But that's the concept of whole food versus a processed food that people don't really understand. So understanding that, and then ask your customers the right questions. If you can get to the bottom of how they eat, are they getting the nutrition they need? What's your eating like? What do you do? And help them to understand. A lot of the typical answers you get are, well, I skip breakfast, which, there's problems there, and we can talk about that later. But other people talk about how it's fast food all the time because they don't have time to eat at home or prepare foods. So those are some of the issues that you can get to the bottom of by asking the right questions. Okay, so one of the cool things that Beachbody's done is they've made a lot of videos about Shakeology. Are you guys pretty familiar with the videos that Shakeology has made, where to find them, and how to use them? An example would be Tony Horton Checks Out. Everybody seen that one? That one's awesome, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of humorous. He kind of makes fun of, people that are buying the wrong kind of foods.
Fatty fat chips.
Yeah, fatty fat chips, right?
Love that.
Yeah. So, also in that video, there's a cash register that rings up the total, and I don't remember what the total comes to, but it's high for when the customer buys all the healthy ingredients that you might find in a Shakeology. Several $100s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for people that have struggles with price objections, that's a good one to talk to them about.
Mm-hmm.
And another video that I like is the Ingredient Hunter. That everybody's seen that one where Darren O'Lean's traveling around the world looking for healthy ingredients. So that one I show to people who have a little bit of an understanding of what healthy ingredients are, but don't really know how to get them all, or are trying to get them through pills instead of a more natural form. Anybody else have a favorite video?
Those are the two that I use too, and I just also want to throw in that having your own video to share with people is really, really effective too. And you can show how you make it, or you can tell your story just really briefly about why you love it. And having that ready to send to people is really awesome too. You could, be making it with your kids and show how friendly it is for families.
That's a really good idea. I get so much more volume or people traffic when I share videos.
Yeah.
Versus just posts or even pictures, but the videos I get so much more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good idea.
So one of the things I do is I have the links for about 6 different Shakeology videos on my cell phone. So I can reference them anytime I want and send them as an email. So if I'm talking to somebody, I try and get, if it's somebody I don't know but just happen to come across a conversation with them, I'll get her name and an email address and say, I'll send you something. And then typically, when I'm done with the conversation, I'll go back to my car, and I'll sit there in the car, and I'll send them the video within 5 minutes of talking to them. And so they get something right away, so they see what's going on, because the quality of the videos are awesome. Another one that I like, I can't remember the name of it, but it has to do with Shakeology is proven.
Clinically proven.
Clinically proven.
Yeah.
So, what are the things? It's weight loss, it's cholesterol, it's sugar levels. And is that it, or does it talk about energy as well?
I think it's those 3.
I think it's those 3. Yeah.
Quick question. Where do you have your link stored? Do you have it in Evernote or Google Keep?
It's in Evernote.
Okay. Do you guys know what Evernote is? It's just a website, so evernote.com, I think. and you can create a free membership, and then it stores, you can just kind of store your information and your links, and then you can just go in and copy and paste it over to wherever you want. It's really, really great for staying organized.
I use Evernote for everything. My leadership at church, I use Evernote. I do calls with my marketing coach. I use Evernote. If I listen to any other team calls or anything like that, Evernote. I take notes at work. I use Evernote. Everything is there. And, you know, for me, it works.
Yeah. Google Keep is another great one too. I like that it's really easy to access from there's an app that I can put on my phone. So I just click on that and open it. And then it does kind of like little Post-its. That's kind of the style of that. And you just click on that one and then get all your info, and you can save photos really easily on there too. That's the same concept for both.
So do you know where to find all the videos? I mean, I find them in two sources. I use YouTube. I go to the Beachbody YouTube channel, and I find them there. But also in the back office, there are several under news and training, and then under training, and then you'll scroll down. I don't know if you want me to share a screen and show it to you.
Yeah, will you please? Because I have a few other people who couldn't get on tonight that want the recording.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's do this one and share. All right. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So here we are, news and training, under training, and then scroll down to training library and click on learn more. And then you scroll all the way down till you find the little section on Shakeology. And then you click on, let's see.
There's the Shakeology checks out one up there.
Yeah, okay, so there are several of them right here. Share Shakeology ingredients, Tony Horton. That's the PDF. That's not what I was looking for. Let's go back.
Almost. Next one.
Mm-hmm.
Next one.
Down.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
And you have a gorgeous day.
I love that one.
So you can get it right there, and then see the share. You can get that and then copy a link and share it right there. So copy link, and then you can go to whatever document, if you're sending somebody an email, and share it on the document. So that's not the only one that's there. There are several others. This one is a really good one. It's by Darren Aline. And so he sits there and talks for like 3 minutes about how he put it together and, you know, why it was.
You know, when I first sat down with Carl and Isabel and we talked about what is this Shakeology and what was it going to be, you know, one of the first things was it was going to provide an answer to what do people require right here, right now, in this day and age. And because of stress and food quality being down and challenges of just eating healthy as you're a busy person throughout the day, you're missing out. So Shakeology was there to provide an answer to that question. What do we require? We require nutrient-dense food to help combat stress, to help recover from workouts, recover from life, and give a chance so your body can thrive rather than just survive. Shakeology is not just a bunch of things thrown together. It's an alchemy. It's greater than the sum of its parts. So you have things like ashwagandha and astragalus and maca, all of these things, which are, by the way, adaptogens, really helping the body combat stress. And then you have other things like moringa and tulsi and some of the superfoods in there that are giving the nutrient qualities that you need. So it's almost like creating a symphony where it's not just the drums, it's also the brass. And the blending of Shakeology creates the strength as a whole rather than looking at all the parts. All of the parts are bringing in powerful nutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and many other attributes and cofactors to provide the greatest superfood blend on the planet.
That's it. Probably enough of that, but that's a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, right down below, as I discovered just a few minutes ago, which I rediscover all the time because I forget, there's a whole bunch of other Shakeology videos right down here. So you just scroll through and find what you're looking for.
So will you show them that if you go back to the home page, so click on just, the logo. So go down. Oh, yeah, or a back arrow from there. But
so where are we going to?
Just your welcome page. So click on teambeachbody.com. And then coach online office, I guess it would be. So down there, do you see video library, English, Spanish?
Oh, yeah.
That is important because I know Molly has a coach with lots of Spanish-speaking friends. So you can pull off your Spanish videos there.
Hola.
Leads me to the size and Shakeology challenge pack, which is made.
Hey.
That doesn't sound like it's in Spanish.
So with that, it's supposed to be Spanish.
Tricked ya.
It is a videoteca, though.
Videoteca.
Videoteca.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
So just so everyone knows that that's there too.
Now his stuff's going to be stuck in Spanish.
That's funny.
Yeah,
No, it won't be.
Isn't. I assume some of the others are.
That would be a funny trick, though. So, while you're looking, I see we have Sydney on and Stacy on. Hey, guys. And I think, is that Heather's dial in too? Are you guys here?
Yeah.
Yay. Welcome, guys.
Okay, so I unshared us here.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's see. Here's a few things that I like to do for my customers. I made a video on how to make Shakeology because I've had customers that have taken their Shakeology samples and they've taken about 3 or 4 ounces of warm water. They take your Shakeology pack, pour it in there,
Yeah.
spoon, and stir it up. They take one sip, they throw it out, and they say, I'm never trying this stuff again.
That was Molly.
Yeah.
That was my first one. I just took it in a cup. It was so gross.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So wouldn't it be cool if your coach sends you a video and says, hey, look, here's how you make it. Not only is it super fast to make, but it tastes like dessert when I make it like this way, right? So it can actually be like a 30-second video because that's about how long it takes to make Shakeology. It's interesting that I have some people that say, oh, well, since I have a store and I have a Shakeology bar, they want me to make them a shake and bring it to them as opposed to them making it home. And so I give them the video and go, look, you can make it in 30 seconds at home and drink it while you're driving to work. And so, that's really helpful.
You have a Shakeology bar at the store?
Yeah, we do.
That's so awesome. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do that when I come to visit this summer.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, too, because we can help customers find the flavor they like really easily.
Yeah.
Whereas otherwise, you need to send them several samples until they get the right one before they buy a bag, which is not a bad way to go because you do want them to get the right flavor.
Yeah.
When they start buying a full bag. If they get a whole bag of something they don't like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's it. There aren't really any of them that I don't like. So
Yeah. So when I'm talking to people, what I'll usually say to kind of narrow down the choices is I'll say, are you a chocolate fan first and foremost? If they say yes, then I'll say, okay, awesome. Do you avoid dairy? yes or no. If they do, then vegan. If they don't, then regular. And if they say, no, I'm more of a fruity person, I'll say, okay, well, my favorite is greenberry, but there's also strawberry or vanilla, which you could add your own berries to. And so, that way I kind of am able to narrow down which flavor to send them, just based on those really simple questions.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also try and share with my customers that there is 100% money back guarantee. Use the whole bag. And if you're not completely satisfied at the end of the first month, you can send it back and get all your money back. And I'm not afraid to share that with people because I know if they use the whole bag, they're going to get results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the things that I think is really important is that we take the time to learn everything we can learn about Shakeology, and you will learn so many things about it that you will never share. In fact, you won't want to share everything. It's like if you have a cell phone and you're showing somebody your phone, you won't want to tell them everything that cell phone will do. But you can show them a few really cool features, and that's usually enough for them to say, wow, I like that. I want that cell phone. That's really cool. But before you start sharing, you need to ask the right questions and find out what that person's needs are. For example, do they not have any energy in the afternoon?
Mm-hmm.
And then talk about the ingredients that give you energy in the afternoon. Do they have stomach aches on a regular basis? Do they have a cholesterol issue? Are they struggling from high blood sugar levels? Are they a gym rat that isn't getting any results? Because that's kind of how I spent my life. I was kind of a gym junkie, and yet I was with all kinds of people that I would see at the gym every day for years that never got results because we never really focused on nutrition, which was the bigger part of the issue. So asking the right questions and then sharing the components of Shakeology that would address those issues is really important.
My favorite, can I say what my favorite question is? My favorite question to ask is, what's your biggest struggle with nutrition? Because I feel like you're going to get a variety of answers there, but it's really easy to show how Shakeology would fit into their life with that struggle. So if it's like he said, if they're not eating breakfast, it's going to be really easy to just make a shake every day and you're going to start your day off right. And when you start your day off with nutrients, your body is going to crave nutrients. Rather than if you deprive it, it's going to want whatever it sees because it's hungry. And then if someone says that they are really busy and they have a lot of people to feed and they never know, what's healthy and they're running out of ideas, then you can show them how Shakeology would fit in there too. So I feel like that's like the biggest question that I ask people. And then you can totally give that amount of information that they need to kind of fill in that gap for them.
So here's a couple of other things that go along with that question. If somebody says that they get tired in the afternoon, or you can recommend that they use their Shakeology at lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help them to have less of an energy crash in the afternoon. They'll have a little bit more energy. Or if somebody says, I have food cravings at night and I cheat at night. I'm good all day long, but at night I cheat. Well, when is a good time for them to have their Shakeology?
Dinner.
Yeah, right? Or here's a little trick I use sometimes. I'll have Shakeology for breakfast, but I'll have another half portion or even a full portion at night after dinner. And if I'm craving something sweet or whatever, I'll make another shake and I'll have a shake at night.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't necessarily need to have 2 shakes every day, but it's a good solution for when you're like wanting, to eat like 10 homemade cookies that are sitting on your counter, which is, that's my thing, right?
Yeah.
We all have those days.
Or if
Here's
you're
another
working
question
on it.
for you.
Oh,
Are
hang
you-
on just a sec. I think we had a question
Oh, yeah.
or a comment.
Oh, I was just going to say, or if you're working out at night and you need that extra protein after your workout, that's a good time to drink it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So here's a question that you can ask your customers. Are you more interested in the weight loss benefits or in the health benefits? And that helps people to understand that Shakeology is not just a weight loss product. A lot of people think that you'll use Shakeology until you lose a certain amount of weight, and then you're done and you don't need it anymore. And when they realize that there are health benefits that'll help them for the rest of their life, then you've got a dedicated customer. And Shakeology really is a long-term product. To see all the benefits from it, you can't see necessarily all the benefits in 1 month. It's a consistent use of Shakeology that helps you to see those benefits.
I have a question. You mentioned how you would have an extra shake. And I know I've heard of people that will drink more than one a day. Like, if you knew that you might be prone to do that, would you try to just plan it in? Because, like, I use the container system for everything. I don't care what workout I'm doing because I love it. Mm-hmm. Would you just, like, plot it in there? Or would you just have that versus something that you know is worse? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that depends on the person. I think if you're using the container system and really planning everything out, then you probably should plan it in there. But what happens if you plan all of your meals out and you've used all your containers and you're still hungry?
Yeah. So then you would just want to have the best option instead of something else.
Yeah. I mean, it's a better choice.
Yeah.
And that maybe that second shake, if you're out of containers, you could make it with ice and water instead of a banana and peanut butter. I know Jeff is really careful about that. So, you know, if you have to, you can make a shake with water. If you have extra containers, then yeah, I would plan that in.
Or a half portion.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard of that too. That's smart.
The other thing that's been kind of fun for us lately is we've been making the Shakeology bars that you blend up with dates and almonds and like dried apricots with the Shakeology powder, and then you just refrigerate it for an hour. And then I have these energy bars and they're ready to go. And I've been really enjoying having those in the fridge. So that's another thing that you could add in is, you know, one of those no-bake Shakeology balls or the bars, because you're going to keep, you know, still get those nutrients from the Shakeology, but made a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk for a few minutes about price objections and comparisons with other meal replacement type shakes. There are 3 things in a shake that you should absolutely avoid. 1, soy, because soy is typically something that's very cheap to manufacture. And so a lot of companies use soy as a filler because they save money using it. Soy has been proven to cause problems with hormone levels over a long-term usage and a lot of problems with your thyroid. So soy is something that should be avoided in a meal replacement shake. The next one is artificial flavors. So artificial flavors cause problems with metabolism and with digestion. And the third one is artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners actually really cause problems in preventing a weight loss experience. It totally messes up the way that your system processes, and those are the 3 things. Shakeology is 100% natural. It's not certified gluten-free, although it is gluten-free. And the reason it's not certified gluten-free is that it's made in factories where there might be trace amounts of gluten. So they can't put it on the label. And because the ingredients come from all over the world and some of them are actually processed at a plant in another country, it cannot be certified in the United States. But you can confidently tell your customers that it is gluten-free for those that have celiacs or issues with gluten.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
With the artificial sweeteners, do you know what stevia would be considered?
So stevia is a natural product. It comes from a flower.
Yeah.
Of some kind. I can't remember what the flower is. Stevia plant. Is it a stevia plant? Easy enough.
There you go.
Shauna's here. Stevia.
Thanks, Shauna.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes.
Awesome.
Okay. So questions to ask. Hi, Jeff. Questions to ask your customers. How much would they spend for the meal that they're going to use Shakeology for? And you can actually show them how they will be saving money by using Shakeology. So what are some ways that they can actually save money by using Shakeology as opposed to having a regular meal? Let me help. You can break Shakeology down from the retail price of $129 for 30 servings down to about $4.30 per serving. So their meal costs them $4.30. If they go out to a fast food restaurant and eat, how much would that cost? Typically
$8, $10.
Yeah, $4 to $8, $10 or more. Okay. How much would it cost for somebody to put together a healthy meal if they were to go buy the ingredients and to put it together themselves?
I don't know, 5 or less.
Okay. So maybe about the same amount of money for the ingredients and then the time to put it together. And when they're done, what did they get? Because there's 5 plates of salad in a Shakeology or 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. So how does that compare to what they would have eaten if they had eaten a healthy meal?
I think in the book it shows $4 versus $41 to go buy everything that comes in one shake.
Yeah, and there is a video that shows exactly the same thing. That actual video is a short one too. It's about a 40-second video on the Shakeology ingredients.
Mm-hmm. It's after like P90X2 and 3 and stuff.
Okay, so
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question really quick? The only real argument I've heard from anyone about buying Shakeology versus other products is that it's lower in protein than other shakes are. And so I did a little bit of research, and it is lower than some shakes. And I'm wondering, like, what my reaction to that would be, what my comeback to that would be. Because I noticed that if I put in almond milk, and even if you add, like, a little bit of peanut butter, it comes out to be about what the other shake is. It's just a couple grams difference usually. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering what to say to people who say that to me, that it's lower in protein than other shakes.
Well, first of all, I would say that our society and the trend right now is everything is protein. Protein drinks are huge. So everybody's got this fixation on protein, and yet the amount of protein we should have in a day is a lot less than most people that are using these protein products are consuming. So is it necessary to have more protein? And the other thing is that that's not the intent of Shakeology. Shakeology is not a protein drink. Yes, it does have protein in it, but the power of Shakeology has very little to do with the protein and very much to do with the superfoods that are in there.
Okay.
I would talk to them about what a superfood is. And a superfood is something that's low in calories and high in nutrient value. And so at that point, I start sharing things like, did you know that chia seeds were the magic ingredients that marathoners from an Indian tribe were using for years to get enough energy to run 100 miles in a day. And did you know chia seeds are in Shakeology? And did you know that Camu Camu is in Shakeology? And did you know that Camu Camu is the most potent source of vitamin C in the world? So learning a little bit about some of the superfoods, you don't have to know what they all are, but just know a little bit about some of them so that you can explain why those things are in Shakeology. And so at that point, a gram or two of protein or even 5 grams, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, realistically, we ought to be aiming for somewhat of a balanced macronutrient diet anyway. Yeah, I eat slightly higher protein than carbs and fats, but, you know, I mean, having a balanced diet is kind of the way we're supposed to be eating.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that for some reason there's this thing about protein in our society right now that's sort of out of whack.
Well, I also hear if you have too much protein too fast, you just kind of, your body gets rid of it anyway. It's overflow, you know. So
Yeah, it doesn't know how to process all that.
you got to space it out. You got to do it right. So if you're just eating protein because it's protein, then they're going to be lacking as well, even what they intake, because they're doing it too fast.
That's a good point.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Good question. I didn't know that either.
Okay, so let me just wrap it up because I want to give Kirsty some time for some other business that we're going to talk about here. I would say this, as coaches, we all ought to be drinking Shakeology every day, just consistently. And that will give us the ability to have the benefits and then be able to comfortably share the benefits with people. If we're not drinking it on a regular basis, it's really hard to have that belief in Shakeology. If we don't believe in it, it's like then we're that icky salesperson that we don't want to be, right? And the last thing I would say is this. Spend time with your customers, helping them, give them follow-up, ask them how they're doing, send them more information so that they know what all the benefits are of what they're drinking. Let them know that there's actually a further discount that they can get as what I would call a wholesale buyer, which would mean they can become a coach and get a lower price on Shakeology. Also, when you have someone purchase a challenge pack from you, you need to make sure they understand two things. Number one, that if they don't click the right box when they sign up for a challenge pack, that the free 1 month subscription to club membership, they're going to be charged for club membership at the end of that month. Let them know that they need to unclick the box, or that they're going to need that they can use club membership for a month and see what Beach Run on Demand is all about, but make sure they know they need to make a phone call to cancel at the end of the month. And you need to let them know that their Shakeology is going to come the next month. Don't let it be a surprise to them that another bag is going to be charged to their credit card and it's going to show up on their doorstep. Make sure and tell them that that's going to happen. Make sure and tell them that if they're not satisfied, they can get a full refund, and that they can stop it with a simple phone call, and that you can share with them that they have their own website they can go to, fill out a form, and change their flavor without even making a call. So some of those follow-up things are really helpful for your customers, but don't surprise them with things that are going to upset them down the road. I think that's all I have. If you've got more questions, I'm happy to talk about it. But I will say that learning more about Shakeology will help you to be confident in sharing it with people. And the bottom line is it really has to do with changing lives. It changed my life, and my whole goal is to get out, find people that need help, and help them to change their lives. And I know it works, and so it's easy for me to share it with them and help them to get started using Shakeology.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we do have time for questions. Are there any other questions, or maybe you guys want to share something that you have said or done that has worked for you?
I had a question. So I was prepping a post about Shakeology because I know we've got the challenge coming up. And I feel like sometimes, and it just might be the way it is because it's real life and it's what really happens, it gets lengthy. And I don't know if you guys just put it out there, and if they want to read the whole thing, they do, or if you find ways to make it short and concise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you definitely want a good balance of not too long, but that it's, personal information that is important to you. You could always post that in our coach group, and then we could kind of critique it for you and go through and say, oh, maybe, turn this into one sentence instead of two, or we can totally help you with wording and
I think that when it's personal, you tend to just have more to say because it's, it's real. Like Tom said, it's what really happened. And so you just got lots to say about it. But sometimes I worry that it's just getting a little long.
Yeah.
Like just kind of look over it and not want to read it.
Yeah. Well, feel free to post it in the group and just ask for
Feedback.
and feedback.
I don't have a problem with long posts, especially like Kirsty said, if it's like sometimes keep it short and sometimes make it long and make it personal and make it meaningful. But I will say this, when I'm talking to my customers, if I talk too long, they run. I'm better off asking them questions and solving their problem rather than telling them everything that I know about Shakeology. Keep it short, to the point. Help to fill their need, and let them do as much talking as possible.
Yeah, and same with messages too, when you're doing messages back and forth and ending with another question after you've given a little bit of information, end with another question so that they can come back and give you more information, so that it is more about you learning about them than you talking to them. I think that's important too. Yeah. But with posts, for sure, there's, some you will want to have longer and some you will want to have shorter, but we're happy to help you kind of work through that. Okay. So I just wanted to go back to when my dad was saying that he got 7 packets of Shakeology right when he needed it, when he had finished P90X. Oh, 10? Anyway, however many he got. And when I first started out as a coach, I did a ton of Shakeology 7-day challenge groups. They're able to try it. They can try as many flavors as they want. They can feel for themselves how it makes them feel in their energy level and those digestion issues. Like, you can't explain that to people. They really need to feel it for themselves. So I was thinking it would be really awesome to do a team-wide 7-day Shakeology group. So I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about if we should do it on, I think it's May 9th is our next, free, it's going to be our free test drive group is kind of what we're marketing it at, where they're going to do a free trial of the on-demand workouts. Do you think it would be beneficial to add Shakeology into that group? It wouldn't be a free test group anymore, although they could choose to do just the workouts or Shakeology with that, or do you guys think we should do a separate week where we're doing a Shakeology challenge?
I think it might be confusing for people who don't want to do Shakeology and they're seeing all these posts about Shakeology, so maybe keep it separate.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Yeah. Sydney, do you have an opinion?
I kind of think waiting and doing it separately. I don't have a ton of experience, but with this one that I just did, there was plenty of conversation and chatting going on just about Shakeology. It was good. And it also got the people who didn't necessarily feel that they had time or want to do a workout. And quite honestly, if they just want to start with Shakeology, then so be it,
Okay, so then maybe we do it the following week and start it on the 16th, and we can kind of end the free test drive group with, are you ready to kick your nutrition up a notch? And then we can talk about how we're going to add in the shakes and like really zero in on their nutrition next.
But then won't we need some time to get them the shakes to get everything shipped?
Yeah, that's true. We could just start talking about it like on Thursday.
Or maybe, I don't know if it's weird to start at midweek.
What's that?
So that way they have time. I don't know if it would be weird to start it like in the middle of the week. So that way, if it's the end of the week and you're talking to them, I know for me it takes multiple days to get anything mailed from Montana, although I think Montana is just weird. So that way they could actually start on time with everybody else.
Yeah, I have done a Wednesday start, and actually that works really well because the weekend isn't the very end. And we can talk about how to make good, healthy weekends.
Driving weekends and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good idea.
So possibly we'll start on the 18th then. Okay. So let's tentatively plan on that. If we need to push it back to that next Monday, that's okay too. But I would like to be able to have time for us to, benefit from that in May if they do decide they want to buy a 30-day bag after that. And I have great results with that. So I guess my next challenge would be for us to each really think about your story with Shakeology and what it has helped you in your life and why it's beneficial for you, and then do a post or a video about that, and then be thinking of who you want to specifically invite to that group. So you can send personal invites and then also an invite on your timeline. Okay, so I'm trying to think if there was any other things that I wanted to go over. I love everything you said, by the way, Dad. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah. Any other questions or comments or anything? Molly, do you want to say anything about how Shakeology is different than Isagenix and how different you felt between the two?
Yeah. I mean, it's really different. And who was it that asked the question earlier when they were talking about protein?
Heather. I'm not sure if she's still on anymore, though. Are you still there, Heather?
No.
Yeah, she's not.
Well, she says it. So Isagenix has significantly more protein in it. And they have two shakes that, like meal replacement shakes. One is IsaPro, which has 32 grams of protein in it. Yes. The regular shake, Isoline, has 24. So even 24 compared to 17 is quite a bit. But they also have more than double the calories. A regular Isoline shake is 240 calories. And the way it's marketed is quite different. They really don't want you mixing it with anything except water and ice. And they're very clear about that. It was kind of surprised me when I got my first Shakeology order and it comes with like the whole calendar of 30 recipes, because you wouldn't see that from Isagenix. So one of the things that I love talking to my people about, and especially because I have a lot of old Isagenix customers, is that there's variety here. I mean, even if you always want to stick with chocolate, here are, 10, 20, 30 different ways to make your chocolate shake that it will taste different. Because when you are looking at it, like Tom said, as a long-term, you can drink this every day for the rest of your life. Some people, they're like, the same thing every day? Really? That's not for me. So I like that, and because it has so many less calories, you do have that room to play around. You do have the room to add the almond milk or, the tablespoon of peanut butter or peanut butter powder or your half a banana. And quite honestly, a meal replacement, really should be in the, low 200s range, between 200 and 300 calories for a meal. If you're going to use it for a breakfast, a lunch, or a dinner, you do want more calories than just those 145. And so I like that I can play around with it, and there's no guilt there. Mm-hmm. As far as the ingredients. I love that Shakeology is the superfoods. It's things that you can go to the like natural food store or even Whole Foods. And honestly, like my Super Target carries a lot of this stuff because I live in one of those areas where Whole Foods like that are really popular. And I love that people look at the ingredients and they recognize it. And it's not some weird stuff that's only found, you know, in this one little village in the bottom of the Andes Mountains or something, you know, like, because that's what isogenics is made up of. But it's very confusing for people. They never really understand what they're drinking or the benefits of it. And you can look at the back of the Shakeology bag and figure it out really quick. And you know, I think it's a better shake. I think people like it more. Just in my, you know, small time of experience with Shakeology, I used to have so many people who started with me with isogenics, and they were just gagging their shake down at the beginning. And it would take them a couple months to really say, like, I like this. And it's a different texture. My husband, who drinks every protein shake, every meal replacement, every gainer shake, he's tried them all. He doesn't care about any of it. And he hated isogenics. He thought it was gross. And eventually he got used to it. But with Shakeology, I found that people don't need to get used to it. They just like it, which is such a wonderful thing when you're a coach, because I don't have that moment of fear when they're going to tell me that they're making their first shake, because people like it. It tastes better and it's good. So
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Cool. Okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions or comments, I think.
A quick one, Kirsty, for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I, if I have people that want to get a sample for the 7 days, can I have them do it through you?
Yes.
I don't have any to send.
Yep. Yeah. You can always order the packets. They can actually order 7 days under you. That's an option now. So you could send them the link and then you get, 25% of that. So that might be a better way to do it. Yeah. And then they're your customer.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
So one way that you can do that is to go to coachingcodes.com. Have I ever showed you that?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So if you go to coachingcodes.com and then scroll down under, like, there's a bar with tons of diamond names. And if you scroll down that, it'll go forever. So scroll around that. Go down and then enter your coach ID and your username. And then leave the bottom two blank. Hit generate. And then I think there's a whole section on Shakeology. So if you click the plus arrow or the down arrow to hit the Shakeology options, you can grab your direct link for the 7-day kit. And then they can order it from you. It gets sent straight to their house. You get 25% commission on that. I think it's $35, which would be the same as what I've always sold it for. And then we don't have to mess with packets, but it's totally free. The other thing I did was if I needed, if I signed up my spouse, which obviously I didn't, but if I needed to sign up my spouse, get a program out of that and use the packets to send out, that's only 3 people to cover one box of 24 packets. So it's always an option as you're, team building and stuff too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. And I have tons of information on our coach group about how to market the 7-day group. I have, words you can just copy and paste and then add in your own. Like usually I'll say, I love Shakeology because blank, because I don't want to say it for you. I want it to really be your reason why you love it because you don't have stomach aches anymore. No, it's totally your thing. And so you can copy and paste that, but add in your own stuff. And I have pictures in there too that you can use. And there's a whole template on running the 7-day group, which is a super fun group to do. And Molly just did one too. In fact, Molly, do you mind sharing your template in our group too? Because you had some awesome pictures and recipes, and I love what you did.
I can put one together. I was just winging it every day.
Oh, you should totally copy and paste it into a Word document so you always have that.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
Okay, good. Yeah, that was awesome. I loved your group. That was really cool. And she made like Reese's peanut butter cup, but Shakeology cups.
It was I still have some in the freezer. They're delicious.
Cool is that? That's awesome. What a fun thing to have, in your 7-day group. That's awesome. Yay. All right, cool. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. Well, I think we'll go ahead and end. Thank you all so much for getting on. I love these team calls. It's so fun to see your faces and talk to you guys.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you. Do you know how to do a screenshot on here, Jeff? Should we take a quick picture?
Yes.
Get us to gallery view, though. Hang on. Or can someone else do it? We're on his Surface, and I don't know.
I can do it if y'all smile right now.
Okay.
All right. I think I got it. But hold on. How many people are?
5.
We're just down to us 5 right now.
Yep. Then I got everybody.
Okay. So. Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dad.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.